with today books that I like and I recommend. This one's going to be maybe a bit of a long video because I'm just going to go over all my favorites. And I'm going to explain each book and what I like about it. First of all, we're going to start with The Living Witchery. This is a great beginner book. This is by an Australian author. They actually have a coven in Queensland where they do coven things. They have celebrations, they get together, have a bonfire, and they do spells and DIYs and all sorts together. It's really good. But this is your one-stop shop book for a beginner. I find a lot of beginner books are very complicated, they don't explain things well, and there's not a lot of information in the books. It's kind of broad. But this one actually explains all the important things you need to know. It goes into moon magic, it goes into activating, it goes into sigils. You've got all the types of things that you really are important. Your altar. It also goes into, as you can see, charging. And then there's some DIYs in there. You've got your moon cycles. You've got all sorts. Spell work, candle magic, spell bottles, home protection, money spells, love spells, charm bags, amulets. There's a lot of different things in there, and I would 100% recommend this book. And then they do have a coven book if that's something you guys are interested in. It was actually written by multiple coven people in their coven in Queensland. So I haven't actually read this book yet, but I am going to do a review on it once I get to it. And they do actually have a oracle deck, which I was lucky enough to get sent. But the imagery is actually really nice and the cards are really thick. They also have Sabbath cardboard designs. I have mine framed. I'll have to insert a photo. And it's basically tells you what the Australian Sabbaths are, the Southern Hemisphere Sabbaths, and it's designed with Australian native flowers. The next book I recommend is the Crystal Bible. If you're going to get into crystals and learning, this is basically one book that you need. And then you really don't need a lot of other books. I wouldn't recommend 2 and 3 unless you are an avid collector, because they get rarer as they go along. This is your basic crystals, and that's basically all you need. Okay, my next author that I love is Sarah Bartlett. I find a lot of authors, especially when you're a beginner, they overcomplicate things. And I find with my teaching anyway, I try to not overcomplicate things, explain things as simple as possible, and also use ingredients that people can get wherever they are. And also, like, if it's a teen book, also, like ingredients that teens can get, not like besoms and wands and mugwort and things. Like, I remember reading books back then, and thinking, where am I getting these ingredients from? 6 oranges and pins, and like, it was just crazy. Another great Aussie author, while I'm thinking, is Fiona Horn. She actually started my journey of witchcraft, and I actually was kind enough to be asked by Fiona to review her book, and I did. It's actually on my page if you guys want to watch that. And that was her most recent book that she released. But Sarah Bartlett books, back to that. She does fantastic books. She explains things really well. She kind of goes into the DIY side of things also, and she also goes into spell work. And her books are very detailed, but they're also very simple and easy to read. And she has a lot of these, the little book of. So there's the moon magic, the earth magic, the crystal magic, and then there's the practical magic, which is basically a beginner's guide to everything. I love, so my favorites out of her whole collection, if you had to have one, the moon magic one. This one is really good, and the earth magic. These two are absolutely fantastic, and the knot magic I really like. I would 100% recommend that if you're getting into knot magic or wanting to learn about it. 100% recommend that. The Mama Moon Book of Magic. I really like this book. Again, it's a one-stop shop book that has everything. It basically goes into self-care, it goes into crystals, it goes into candle magic, it goes into color magic, it goes into planetary magic. it goes into everything, like banishing, protection, DIYs, crystal magic, crystal healing, you know, the different chakra spells you can do, how to make your cleansing bundles. Like, it's just a lot of good things. The Green Witch collection. This author is absolutely fantastic. They do have a protection book which isn't in the same line, that's really good, and I did recommend it in one of my last videos. Also, they have a self-care book and a house magic book, and I recommend all of them. The Green Witch, but the Green Witch one is probably the best out of the line if you're going to get one of the books. I do love this book, and I love that it's DIY based again. It also goes into the Sabbaths. It also goes into using kind of what you have, you know, and it also explains a bit about each plant and how you can use it. And I just really like that. Crystals and how to use it. It teaches you how to make salves and some different little self-care recipes. My next favorite author would have to be Aura Kane. Aura Kane has fantastic books, and you can get these on Amazon if you. I know Kmart sells a lot of these in Australia, but Amazon also sells them, and so does eBay. The House Magic. I recently got this book. It is a really good book if you're looking for home magic and protection and all that type of stuff. This is a really good book. Moon Magic. That's the book that started me on my journey. Really good book. If I had to recommend books out of all of these, I think these three are a must. Moon Magic, Herbal Magic, and House Magic. I was lucky enough for my student to buy me this, but it's the Moon Magic journal that goes with this book. You don't have to have it, but and then I have the Herbal Magic book. This one is beautiful. And again, Aura Kane explains things really simple. Her books are beautiful, as you can see the imagery. This basically has a bit of everything. You can see what the plant is, what its correspondences are. You can also see like what it does, its magical properties, but then it also goes into groupings like love magic, color magic, candle magic, deities. It kind of touches deities. It touches C Hecate. It also touches herbal magic, fairies. It kind of touches on how to dry your herbs out, how to make bundles, altars, going into different things and what you can do with them. Brewing, making worry dolls, making puppets. There's so much. Color magic, astrology, moon magic, planetary magic. It's just basically all there, and then sections like love and money, protection, and it tells you sort of herbs that go with it. Okay, more books. This range, this author has beautiful books too, Sean Robbins. These are the two books my favorite of what I've got of hers. I've actually got her whole line. But these two I would recommend the best. This is the Modern Day Wikipedia of magical ingredients and spells. I'm not Wiccan, but I really love this book, and it really explains things really well. The ingredients are easy to get. As you guys can see, the book's absolutely beautiful. It's a good coffee table book. But it just goes into really good detail and explains things really well. The books are thick, so they're full of information. The Crystal Witch is really good. There isn't many books out there for crystal witches using, crystals in spell form. And I really love how it incorporates that and tells you what herbs go good with the crystals as you're working, and incorporating crystals into your practice. It's an absolutely beautiful book, and it just explains things really well, as you guys can see, and explains ways you can incorporate them. Okay, and lastly, this isn't a book, but I thought it was going to be really silly, and I bought it. But unfortunately, I think I bought a pirated version. But Again, it's from the same author as the Practical Witch book. So, the cards go into love spells, everyday spells, moon spells, money spells, altar spells, house spells, and healing spells. And as you flick the cards over, this is all about altars. So as you can see, intention magic, candle consecration. I can never say that word properly. So it tells you the spell there, and it also will tell you the ingredients. With like moon spells, again, it does have DIYs mixed amongst it, but most of it's spells. Everyday spells. So, and also there's things you can do. Let's pick up a love one. So we've got Come to Me Love Potion. So it's got the ingredients, and then you've also got what to do. So I really like them. I think they're really good, and they're really good beginner explanation, and having those cards that you can just flick through when you're needing some inspiration or help with your spells. I always recommend writing your own spells because they're always a lot stronger, but it is always good as a backup to have your spells ready. So that is the Practical Witches spell deck, and there's 100 spells in there. So again, it's got healing, house, altar, money, moon, everyday spells, and love spells in there. So you get a good mix of each, as you guys can see. You know, and they're like just the size of like a tarot deck. So yeah, I just want to show you some of my books. Hopefully these are good recommendations. If I had to recommend a couple that were must-haves, the herbal magic, the moon magic, and the house magic I would recommend. The green witch I'd recommend to everyone. These two definitely I'd recommend as a must-have. If you're a crystal collector, must-have. And for beginners, must-have. Would 100% recommend this book. And you can get that on Amazon also if you search for it. Living Witchery, they have their own little shop. So, and also Redbubble, they have a shop on there if you want to get the Sabbath sheet, which I will again put a picture of what it looks like. I actually framed it and put it in my class room, the room I use for classes. So again, if you're looking for beginner classes, I still am offering them. Herbology is about to start if you guys are interested in it. I also do a DIY class where we do things like 4/5 vinegar. We did Florida water. We did cleansing shower melts. We did cleansing bath salts, body oils, intention body scrubs. You know, we kind of do a bit of everything, and incorporating witchy into making your own things and using what you have. So yeah, and my course is $10 a month, so it's quite reasonable. And it just helps me buy the ingredients that I need to buy to teach you guys. We have giveaways. The classes are 2 hours a week, and also you have the DIY class that's thrown in there every so often. I put videos, tips, tricks up through the week. You also get grimoire sheets, and you also get worksheets. So, which will equal to a actual grimoire at the end. So you'll have that, and you will get all my spells and also my DIY recipes. So that's something. So soon we're doing candle magic at the moment, and we're also just made our own candles and decorating them. These are the candles we made for class. So these ones. We also made this one here, this little beeswax one, and rolled our ingredients in the middle. So that's just some little, if you want to join in my class, I'd love to have you guys. So these are my books, and I will talk to you later. Bye.